Alright guys, it's time to review the most expensive movie ever produced by Netflix, The Gray Man. So The Gray Man is about it's a spy thriller about a spy named Sierra 6, played by Ryan Gosling, and he's sent on a mission, and this mission ends up having him come up against somebody who may or may not be in similar shoes that he is, and it may or may not start unraveling a series of dominoes that come falling down as a result of his actions and who he's working for and what they're trying to cover up. And it is a generic spy movie, and we've seen a lot of those. There's every couple of years you get some sort of generic spy movie, but the key to making a good spy movie is usually, if you're not a James Bond or you have the name recognition of a James Bond or Mission Impossible series, is having some interesting elements to it that at least if you have a average to, typical story that we've kind of seen done to death before, you at least bring something different to the table. And here I was excited because you have Ryan Gosling, who is an Academy level actor. And you have Chris Evans, who is incredible in this movie. And, and you have the Russo brothers, the two directors who did Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War. They did Captain America the Winter Soldier, which I think is probably the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. And they did Civil War in the Marvel movies. So these are guys who have done great action movies, and action movies that, have stood the test of time, despite being comic book movies. They're just great, fun action movies. And here we go, like an actual spy action movie, which, seeing the trailers made me go, hey, this could be a lot of fun. And maybe it'll have some typical elements, which it surely does. But it'll, it could still end up being fun. These two guys, I think they know how to direct, but they do have an issue lately of getting out of that Marvel mindset, because it seems like everything outside of those Marvel movies they've done haven't really been received the best. So going into this, I had some high expectations. I was like, okay, Netflix is flipping the bill. It's the most expensive movie they've ever made, at like $200 million or something like that, which is crazy for a Netflix movie. For a movie that was in limited theater release, because I did actually see it in a theater about an hour away from me this weekend, but I sat down and watched it on Netflix in the comfort of my own home. And, so you spend that much money on a movie, how do you expect to really get anything back from it if you're not putting it in a wide theater distribution before putting on your streaming service? Whatever, that's a whole different aspect to this that, is way above my pay grade. So just something to think about, because with this going straight to Netflix, I thought, okay, maybe at least this will be a fun, turn up the volume, watch a bunch of awesome action scenes kind of movie, and see a couple of great actors go toe-to-toe against each other, which they mostly get that right, but what they get wrong, and so wrong, is just how generic this is all played out. I feel like Ryan Gosling is just wasted. He gets some cool action stuff to do, but in terms of giving him character stuff to really motivate him, I don't think it was 100% there. And I'm not saying I'm a Ryan Gosling hater. I'm not. But there are times where I've seen him give performances, and I'm just like, is he sleepwalking through this? Like, he kind of tends to give the same stoic performance every time. And boy, I've seen him act in some other stuff. Don't get me wrong. I've seen him act his butt off. But there's just other times where I'm just like, he plays the same kind of dude in a lot of his movies. So I'm not really impressed with this performance. Like, he's good, but he's just not great. On the other hand, though, Chris Evans, Captain America himself, gets to chew up so much scenery. He's got this really, I won't say it's a great mustache, because I don't know, I can't really judge other dudes on their mustaches, but if anybody could pull the look off, he kind of pulls that look off, and he plays this really swarmy spy character, and he's got some charisma, and I think he does really, really well at playing this character. But I do think he gets a little so over the top that it doesn't fit this movie. Like, there's times where they try to ground this, and then this guy is just so over the top. I can't believe that, one, he would be employed by any sort of agency to be a hitman or spy or whatever. And two, just, it's just so cartoony on the level of taking me out of the movie at points that it could have worked in some other type of movie, but for this one, I was just like, oh, he's good, but it takes me out of the movie a little bit. And that's a big criticism there. The action scenes are pretty good. I'll give it that. There are a few action scenes that I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. But then there is a point where it is an at-home Netflix movie. You're sitting there, and it's almost mind-numbingly just, yep, this is an action scene. Wow, nothing of consequence is really happening to our main character that I really get invested in. And I'll admit it, like, I was kind of looking down on my phone at a couple points because I was like, wow, this is really slow. Had I seen this in the theater, I would never look at my phone during the theater. But here, I was just so bored by some of the action that I'm disappointed to say that. But that's just me. I think this will be a coin flip movie for people. Like, some people, you flip the coin, this will be exactly what they're looking for, and they will have a great time watching it. For others, other side of the coin like me, you'll see this movie and just be like, wow, another generic action movie that I pretty much walked through, watching this for 2 hours or whatever the runtime is. Boy, yeah, I just don't know where this film went wrong. Like, there's so much of this that should have worked. It was like you go through the checklist and everything checks the boxes, but it just, execution-wise, it didn't land for me. And, I'm a little disappointed to say that. And some of the CGI and action for a $200 million movie, boy, it didn't look like a $200 million movie because there was some spotty CGI here and there. And yeah, like some of that took me out of the movie. And maybe it was because I saw it on a smaller screen. That might have hurt it too. Like I said, if I would have saw this on a bigger screen, maybe I would have been a little more into it. Maybe, that's where it should have been seen, not straight to Netflix. That's what gets me, is the straight to Netflix stuff. Like, is usually never really good. Maybe you get a gem here and there, but this type of movie probably should have been seen on a theater. And if there's a local theater playing it, do that before you just sit on your couch and hit the play button, because I think it's worth whatever ticket prices are. Like, to just go in and see an action movie on the screen that it's meant to be in, and then you come up with your own decision on how you feel about it. But that's just me. So guys, in the end, generic, yeah, spy / hitman movie. Seen it 100 times before. Like I said, there's certain things I did like about it that worked. Still, a lot of stuff that didn't work for me. So in the end, I'm just going to give this a really low end, the low end of a solid C. Yeah, so it truly does kind of walk that road of just like, it's just kind of there. But again, I do think there is an audience for people. I know people I would say, hey, you need to check this out because I think you would dig it. And there's definitely a lot of people I would say, skip it. It's definitely not for you. You will not enjoy this whatsoever. So, hey, that's why we watch these, to come up with our own opinions. And, that's the beauty of movies and filmmaking. So there you guys have it. What did you guys think? Have you seen The Gray Man yet on Netflix this weekend? Or were you one of the few that went and saw this in theaters? Leave that down in the comments section below. And as usual, guys, at the end of these things, you know what I'm going to ask. If you could please hit that thumbs up. If you could please hit that subscribe button. And then hit that little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. It would be greatly appreciated. And until next time, guys, I'll be seeing you.